If you are someone living on a fixed income and your HOA dues keep climbing, it can feel genuinely scary, like you've got no control and the costs just keep coming. I want to talk honestly about that because while you can't stop costs from rising, there's a lot that you can do to plan ahead and to protect yourself. Let's walk through it together. Rising HOA costs hit differently when you're on a fixed income. A younger working owner might absorb a dues increase or a special assessment with a little bit of grumbling, but when your income doesn't grow year to year, every increase takes a real bite, and a surprise special assessment can be genuinely destabilizing. This is one of the most important and most human topics in HOA life. So let's treat it with the seriousness that it deserves. First, an honest truth. An HOA generally can't set dues based on individual circumstances. Assessments are typically applied equally across owners according to the governing documents. And the board usually doesn't have the authority to charge people different amounts based on income. So the solution isn't special treatment, it's preparation and predictability. The good news is that there's real power in both. Here's the single most important concept for fixed income owners. Predictability beats surprise. Small planned dues increases are far easier to absorb than a sudden special assessment. A five-figure special assessment can be devastating on a fixed income, while a modest annual increase that can be budgeted for. This is actually why responsible reserve funding matters so much to you specifically. Communities that fund steadily protect fixed income owners from exactly the kind of catastrophic surprise that's really hard to handle. So, counterintuitively, supporting reasonable dues increases that keep your reserves healthy is often in your own best interest because it lowers your risk of that truly dangerous event, that surprise lump sum. So, what can you actually do to plan ahead? Start with information. Understand your community's financial trajectory. Look at the reserve study and the percent funded and get a sense of whether major projects are coming. If the reserves are strong, your risk of a nasty surprise, it's lower. If they're weak and big projects are looming, you're going to want to prepare for the possibility of increases or special assessments. Knowing is far better than being blindsided. Second, build the increases into your budget proactively. Assume that the dues are going to go up gradually over time because they almost certainly will, and factor that into your long-term financial planning. Planning for a modest annual increase means that it's not going to catch you off guard. Third, watch for and understand any relief options. While the HOA can't discriminate on dues, some associations offer payment plans for special assessments, allowing owners to pay over installments rather than one lump sum. If a special assessment is announced, ask whether an installment option is available. It can make a huge difference in trying to manage that. Also, separately from the HOA, look into whether any local or state programs, property tax relief for seniors, or other assistance might ease your overall housing cost and create some more room in your budget. Fourth, engage with your board constructively. Attend meetings and let the board know that predictability and early communication, it matters to owners on fixed incomes. Boards that hear this often prioritize phasing increases and communicating well in advance and avoiding sudden shocks. You advocating for clear and early communication genuinely helps. Fifth, and this is a bigger picture one, if you're evaluating a potential move or already planning ahead, factor HOA financial health heavily into your decisions. A community with strong reserves and a track record of steady, modest increases is much safer for a fixed income than one that freezes the dues and then lurches from crisis to crisis. I also want to say something reassuring. Feeling anxious about this is completely understandable, and you are not powerless. Understanding your community's finances, planning for gradual increases, knowing your options if an assessment comes, and staying engaged, these are real levers of control. The owners who feel most secure aren't necessarily the wealthiest. They're the ones who understand what's coming and they've prepared for it. The reframe that I'll leave you with, your enemy isn't the dues increase, it's the surprise. Predictable, gradual cost can be planned for. So the goal is to live in a well-funded community, understand its trajectory, budget for steady increases, and know your options. Do those things and you replace a lot of that anxiety with a genuine sense of control. For more on how reserves and assessments work, the things that most affect your risk, watch the videos that are linked here. Subscribe for more, and if you're on a board that wants to protect your most vulnerable owners through predictable, well-communicated funding, that's exactly the kind of planning that I help you with at Aligned Impact. Links are below. My name is Jay Boykin. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.